Good evening, all, and welcome to Garblag Games. It's a great start. And tonight is Warhammer Wednesday, Age of Sigmar Soulbound. Hopefully you are joining us from last week, where we had lots and lots and lots of fun. Or at least that's what I'm told we had. So I am Dan. I'm your game master for tonight, and I shall hand over once again to Aaron because he is always prepared, and everybody else has only just turned up. So Aaron, tell us who you're playing.
Thanks, Dan.
If you spent any XP.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Auric Rune Smiter, the Duarden Zargrim, or priest to Grimnir. I'm a hard dwarf with no armor, gold runes stamped into my body. One of the Soulbound who accepted a very lucrative contract, which is going to provide great gold to me and my people. And I did not spend any XP because I'm really saving up to increase my soul so I can equip another rune and do even more damage, but not nearly enough to keep up with the rest of these heavy hitters.
Yes, just stamp another rune in your skin. And we shall hand over to then Dathos. Dan.
Hi, I'm Other Dan, and I am playing Dathos. A silver armored with gold trim, blue shoulder pads, and big chunky sword and shield. Ready to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Thank you very much.
But I'm a Night Quester Stormcast Eternal.
Yes, you are that. Yes, you are that. That's fine. People know. Roger, who are you playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Borear Ragewood, the Sylvaneth Kurnoth Hunter. And I don't think I've spent any XP.
Excellent. Everyone seems to be saving it up. And last, but by no means least, Jim.
Yeah, man, I'm Sanzo, and I'm playing a Nideneth Deepkin, Achillean emissary, and I'm here to stop fights, and if we can't stop them, to end them quickly.
Certainly did that. So last week we had a little adventure. You went to the Cartographer's Guild to find the map, to get on the journey to find these Stormcast Eternals who have been sent out to find Ilariel, the goddess of life herself. Only disaster had happened, and unsurprisingly there was a fight ensued with some Skaven. You managed to rescue the cartographer, and we finished the episode as you were climbing out of the Skaven tunnel back in to the main Cartographer's Guild building. And so we shall pick it up back there. So you've all sort of dusted yourself off. You got a few scrapes and knocks while you were down there, but you're mostly okay. You know, the elf maybe looks a little bit like he's hurt a little bit, but seems to be all right for the most part. And you help the cartographer out of the hole, and she's very thankful. She looks a bit tired, a bit weary, but for the most part, again, thanks to the healing powers of Grim Red Hammer, mostly okay. What you come out to is a very, very busy guild. When you went down, there was full of dead bodies and not many people around. And right now, there are free guild guard everywhere. They're all dressed in the wonderful regalia of Hammer Hall, the plate on the chest plates. You'll all remember it from the days of the Empire soldiers in Warhammer. That sort of fluffy, floofy stuff in their armor and stuff. They look fantastic, but they're all very busy and wandering around and sort of gathering up dead bodies, trying to tidy up the place, and ultimately set to guard. And before, obviously, you can sort of gather yourself, Daphos, all of a sudden you feel something leap on you, and it's Amelin, your guide, your friend who's been joined you from the Lord Celestin, and she's supposed to be hurting. And then she sort of realizes she's hugged you. You're a Stormcast Eternal. She's probably not meant to hug you, and she's, oh my lord, I'm so glad. I was really worried that none of you would return.
We have, and we have come with the information we need. Are you okay?
Oh yes. Once I obviously recovered myself, I'm not used to seeing dead bodies. I fetched the free guild guards to assist, and you see like some free guild guard sort of carrying almost this giant metal, what looks like a manhole cover, and they're about to drop it on the top of it. She goes, but I wouldn't let them put it on until you came out. And you can see the free guild guard kind of shaking their heads. Obviously she'd use some of her authority
Clout.
as the servant of the Lord Celestin. And then the student comes running over, the one you sort of found in the cupboard, who was crying and weeping a lot with his little cut. He sort of runs up to the cartographer. Oh, cartographer! Oh, thank goodness! I thought I was the last. And she turns to him and she says, Matthias, it's good to see you well. Good to see you alive. The gentleman saved my life. I had been taken prisoner. Gentlemen, through to my office, please. Matthias, would you be a dear and fetch us some tea? And he busies himself and runs off. And she leads you into her office. And she goes round and she sits down at her desk and she was like, so you were sent to me to collect the map, the compass, and be on your way, were you not?
Aye, that's right.
Indeed.
And so we find ourselves without a map, without a compass. Well, thanks to you, we have the map. And she sort of rolls out the map and it's completely blank. There's nothing on this map. And she says, unfortunately, these maps are utterly useless without the compass. And I don't know where the compass is in the fury of everything that was going on. And then she stops and she looks around the room and she was like, I'm sure I had a very large cloak on that wall made of sea dragon. Must have been taken in the hustle and bustle. Anyway, the compass, it's very important, but I don't know where it went. So you're going to have to go and find it, I'm afraid, because without it, we can't operate this map.
Well, time is gold, and we've got to lead the dodgy dice gambling den. Those crescent moon bastards likely have your compass. So I think we need to head over there, crack some skulls, and retrieve that compass. Because I got a lot of gold coming to me, and I'm not missing out just because a bunch of human gangbangers decide to get in our way.
Well, I am very pleased to hear that. And then she kind of looks to your sort of belt, Dathos, and I see you have the last ingredient on your belt. And you can see she's looking at the light of Malleus that's sitting on your thing. She goes, this compass is especially unique in that it needs the light of Malleus to work. So perhaps you would like to leave that here with me in my presence here. I'll put it in my special lockbox just in case something happens to you while you're away. Or you can keep it on your side.
You mean like what happened to you while we weren't here? Well, I say we should keep the bloody light of Malleus and the map, because you humans clearly have no idea how to secure a location.
And
I am forced to agree with Mr. Redhammer in this regards.
You can see it. There's a little sparkle on the desk, and you realise she's not just any old human. There's clearly a bit of magic to her. So maybe pressing her anger is probably not the wisest thing to do.
She still got captured.
Yes, you don't know the circumstances to her capture, obviously, but she sort of composes herself, and understandable. I do appreciate that this has not been the most secure location, but we will immediately step up provisions to make sure we protect this. It's important. These maps are very important to the Dawnbringer Crusades and making sure that we can expand Sigmar's realm. And she does the twin tail comet and. Okay, well then I shan't keep you any longer. Matthias, who was making tea for us, who once again has failed in his duties, he knows of the gambling den you speak of, so perhaps he be able to assist you.
Sounds good to me.
In which case I shall leave you to it. Please take your leave as quickly as you like. And then you can see her sort of frantically looking around the office. There's other items. She's clearly seeing if there's other items missing. And there's other items missing from her office, but she hasn't twigged that you're wearing a giant sea dragon cloak, Dathos. So
yeah, Red Hammer's already out the door. He turned and walked away as soon as she said Matthias. He's like,
yeah. And you sort of make your way back down sort of that room. Remember you came in, there was all the tables and the ink and where all the maps are being drawn. And it's all being tidied up now. And there's even what looks like more road figures coming in that you don't know where they've come from, but it looks like there's more cartographers coming in. But you make your way down and you make your way out back into the main hall where all the dead bodies were. And there's no bodies there. It's all pristine and clean. You don't even know how they cleaned it that quickly. Must be magic. But you see Matthias in the corner brewing up some teas and stuff. And he's just sort of got his back to you at the moment.
Red Hammer just walks up, claps him across the shoulder and starts to guide him out the door.
He kind of spills his tea and he jumps because he's obviously of a nervous disposition.
Come on, boy. You've been seconded to our team. You're our guide.
May I ask how I may aid you?
You're taking us to the dodgy dice gambling den.
Well, how do you know about that?
I don't, but your cartographer does. So let's march it out there, sunshine.
And you can see the visible, like, oh no, like on his face, like, oh no, it's not so. Okay, I can lead you there, but I can't go in because I maybe owe a little bit of money to them.
Dude,
It's
that's
all right,
fine by
man.
me.
I'll iron everything out. Yeah. If you take me to the man who you owe money to, then yeah, I'll sort it out.
Okay. And and as you sort of make your way out of now the main big doors that you came into right at the beginning, and you sort of make your way back out the street. It's now really busy outside. Obviously, everybody wants to see what's going on. There's loads of free guard presence, like sort of setting up a barrier, making sure people can't now enter into the guild. And you see Amelin talking to a few guards, and she sort of ventures over to you. My lords, I will report back to the Lord Arcanum. Once you retrieve the compass, obviously you're going to have to come back to here. Would you have need of my services otherwise?
Not that I know of.
Would we need him to identify the compass?
You Matthias, I'm sure, can assist you in that. I'm going to return to the Lord Castellan and inform him, Celestin, sorry, and inform him. Oh, it's been a nervous day. And inform him of what's happened. And then I will rendezvous with you at the Realm Gate to lead you through to the Gyran side of Hammerhole and get you to where you need to start heading out into the wilderness. But I shall meet you there if you have no need of me further than this. Very good. Okay, good luck in your adventures. And she sort of tottles off back towards the keep that you came from originally. And Matthias sort of leads you down and, begins, first of all, you're walking through the city and it's lovely and clean and, all the things. Basically, you're seeing the part of the city that people want you to see and it's lovely. And then he sort of leads you off down an alley and it's getting darker and grimmer and, sort of you see people lying in the streets and sort of you can see like cloaked figures doing dodgy deals and stuff like that. You're thinking to yourself, oof, rough part of town. But you sort of make your way down and it's sort of, you get to a sort of almost like a square. It opens out into a big square and there's some buildings either side, but directly ahead of you is a sort of big triangle building, like that bank in London that they use for Harry Potter type thing, like it goes into a corner. It's like, and you see it, it's there, sort of big old sign saying the dodgy dice, and there's 2 dice on it, and there's people sort of coming and going and that. And Matthias goes, you need to go in there, and there's a list, and if you're not on the list, they're not going to let you in. So I don't know how you're going to deal with that.
Are you on the list?
I'm on a list, not the list to get in though.
If you owe them currency, they should let you in.
They might do more than let me in.
They could
I see a plan here. Yes, I agree with the tree. Let's take this young lad with us up to the front door. Tell him we're going in with him to pay his debt, and that means we'll be able to get in.
Kid, do the Crescent Moon own this establishment? Are they the operators, or do they just hang out here?
Mr. Moonface himself.
Mr. Moonface.
I don't know if that's his real name, but that's what people call him. He's pretty scary.
How much do you owe?
Oh, well, I mean, it's hard to say.
How much do you owe?
100 drops of Aquagrenas. What?
So do they have a bounty out on you, this Mr. Moonface?
Not yet, because I have come to an agreement, an arrangement as to sort of my stay and give me a bit more time.
Was that agreement letting them know about the security of the cartographer so they could go in there and steal the compass, kid?
And you can see him act very nervous at this point.
Exactly where I was going with that.
I pick him up
No, absolutely not. No, I would never do anything like that. Our work at the Cartographers Guild is very, very important. Please put me down, Tree.
Can somebody with a good intuition determine whether or not they think he's lying?
I'm someone with a good intuition might be able to, but
Do we have anyone with a good intuition?
maybe. If people want to roll intuition for me, it's going to be a 5-2.
5-2. Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure I can't get that, but let's give it a shot.
You could roll a 6. It's that's double success.
Yeah.
What are we rolling on? Intuition?
Intuition, yeah. It's a 5-2.
Oh.
I mean,
yes, Dathos.
Ragewood and Grim, you're both convinced he's telling the truth. He's clearly not lying.
I have no idea. I don't understand humans. I'm just holding him.
Yeah. Dathos, Tanzil, he's clearly lying. He's absolutely lying through his teeth to protect his backside. He's clearly involved in some manner. You're not entirely sure to what extent he's lying, but he is lying to an extent about the circumstances of his debt and how it's had a stay.
Yeah, I just look at Dathos when he says "put me down."
He is lying.
No. Well, it's not lying. It's slight bending of the truth. I didn't give up any important information. Simply that maps were made there, and there was things about those maps that were special. I didn't say anything about our security. You asked me about if I said anything about the security, and I didn't.
Dishonesty is unwise.
I mean,
I lift him higher.
Okay, yeah, maybe it is unwise, but look at it from my point of view. You're all very scary, and I don't want to die. So I told her, bent the truth a little bit. It's technically it was truthful from a point of view.
Well, kid, I guess if you help us get in there and help us get that compass back, when we tell the cartographer what you did, maybe if you helped us, it'll prevent her from having your head chopped off.
Alternative arrangement, I help you get in and I disappear forever. You never have to see me again.
Well, that's up to Dathos. This is a human thing, and he's, the closest to a human we've got here.
He's staring at you with puppy dog eyes right now, Dathos.
I return
about
the
7
stare
feet in the air
with my, armored features and dark, sightless eyes that he can't see through my armor, and simply say, "You will help us, or I will strike you down right now."
That seems like a fair arrangement. But he clearly realizes he's back to the corner now. He's got no way out.
He literally is.
Yeah. And he is all about saving his own skin. So
By the way, kid, if you betray us and I live through this, I'll hunt you down for the rest of my days. And the things that I'll do to you, they almost make me sick to my stomach, and nothing gets me sick to my stomach.
If you run, I will find you. I am Kernoth Hunter.
So I think what we've established here is you're all very, very scary, and I should do as I'm told.
I'd be more scared of the tree than the dwarf.
In all fairness, I've seen what he can do with that scythe. The elf's probably right.
I would not require the scythe.
He looks genuinely terrified, and is willing to do anything you ask him to do at this point in time.
Well, lead on then, sunshine.
I set him down in front of Dathos.
Okay. And he sort of gingerly starts to walk towards the establishment. And as you're all making your way across, can you roll me an awareness roll, please? It's a 5-2. It's a difficult one. I'm going to see if you notice something.
Let's see if we can keep up the rolling.
Oof. Okay, so just Tanzil. So all of you are quite happily marching along. Tanzil, you're not entirely sure. I mean, you had the longest conversation with him. but you think you see Hodge, or maybe Podge, you're not entirely sure which one it is, but Hodge or Podge following you, watching you, you're not entirely sure. He was off to a corner and he's kind of disappeared. As soon as he spotted you, spot him, and he was like, and ran back down the alleyway. But the rest of you don't see this, you have no idea. So anyway, so
I'm going to lean down to the bearded one. Yeah, so I won't bend down too much in case I hurt my back. That Hodge or Podge is following us.
Well, we better keep our eyes on him. We don't know how they're going to play into this story. Thanks.
No.
I mean, you guys have another look around, but he's definitely gone again. Definitely vanished again. You can't see him anywhere. So you're not entirely sure what he was doing, but he was definitely there, turns out. Anyway, so you make your way towards sort of the door, and standing in the door is two fairly large humans. But what catches your eye is the extremely stout Dwarden in plate armor carrying what looks like an axe the size of him. He looks fairly formidable, and you can tell, Red Hammer, because you're a rune smiter, you're a craftsman. The axe is old, really old, like properly forged, maybe in the time of myth, maybe of when the Dwarden didn't live in the cities, but actually lived out in the mountains before, obviously, everything changed. So he looks fairly hardy. The two humans are wearing some leather jackets and they're carrying some halberds. They don't look particularly scary, but the dwarf in the middle looks fairly scary. And as you approach, he sort of fixes his eyes on all of you, and the human goes, "Are you on the list?"
Redhammer completely ignores him. He looks right at the Dwarden. It's a nice axe. Only cowards wear armor, but you've got a nice axe.
And you see him sort of sneer at you, and the grip on the axe tightens a little bit. And he's got a big, very big, long grey beard. And you know, for obviously not necessarily for fire slayers, but for Dwarden, that means something. He's got a big, long, very well. These two humans look really scruffy. This Dwarden's very well kept. He's got a lovely, luscious, long beard, gold sort of inlaid into the plaits and stuff. It's in Dwarden kind, you would figure he would be sort of close to a lord level with that level of beard and maintenance. But his hand sort of grips tighter on the axe as you say that. But he maintains composure, and you just think to yourself, you've maybe just been marked down in some sort of grudge book somewhere.
What are you doing? What are you doing slumming in a human bar?
None of your business, pal. Answer the man. Are you on the list?
I suggest
this one
that,
is. I said pushing the guy forward.
Oi, big axe. Yeah, I suggest you take that back. Yeah, ruding my friend here. Yeah, yeah.
Look here, pointy ear. I didn't ask for your opinion. Shut it.
Someone's going to get wet in a minute.
And the human bloke goes, "Look, if you're not on the list, I'm rock, he's hard, and that's place. You don't want to get caught between rock and an hard place, do you?"
Oh dear.
And the Dwarden grips, "That's not my name." While you're on the door, that's your name. Oh, fucking human.
This young gentleman is on the list. We are his guests.
And the Dwarden sort of squints at him and he's like, "Matthias, you're in trouble, aren't you, buddy?" And Matthias is sort of shuffling, but and the humans they sort of set back a little bit, like they're preparing potentially for a fight. But before sort of anything goes down, a feminine voice sort of comes out from behind the door. "Don't worry, gentlemen. Don't worry. They're on the list." And the Dwarden sort of turns to her and goes, "Lady Clara, all right, you're on the list. In you go." And standing, sort of, they kind of part ways, and sort of Matthias now gingerly sort of makes his way in between the five of you. So you're kind of almost in a formation, and he's standing in the middle. He's not near anybody, and the two humans kind of sneer at him as he walks through. And standing in front of you is, she's getting on in years, but she's very voluptuous, very beautiful, and very well appointed. And she, hello, I'm Lady Clara, and I manage the establishment here on behalf of my benefactor. Please come in, please, no trouble at all. And she kind of ushers you in, and she was like, Matthias, you still have a bill to settle. Shouldn't you be out working and getting ready to settle that bill? And he kind of looks at her and goes, I've been asked by the ladyship cartographer to assist these gentlemen today. And he's very sheepish now, very quiet. She's like, okay. And she kind of leads you in, and like, it's kind of reminds you of like a 1960s sort of gala, sort of casino-y type thing. There's like sort of chandeliers, which, given where you've just walked through in the city, so it's sort of rough, this looks very well appointed. Doesn't look like it belongs in this area of the town, but obviously. And she was like, oh, gentlemen, it's unusual to have one of yourselves here, my lord. And she kind of nods to you, Dathos. We have all of the appropriate licenses. I'm not sure what you're caring to do here. May I ask how I can assist you this evening?
I'd very much like to speak to Mr. Moon.
Well, appointments with Mr. Moon are difficult to get, but if you care to wait in here, I will go and see if Mr. Moon is available to see you.
As we do enter, Dan, I'm going to make sure I push past, like just brush past the one with the big axe, and that, and I'm gonna give it a big flick with my hair as I walk past. Yeah. So
the water, salty, briny water, splashes upon him, and there you are. I'll see to you later, pal. And he kind of levels his axe towards you.
I'm not of that ilk.
He doesn't get. He's nodded. You're marked, son. You're marked. That's it. You are officially grudged. Anyway, so you go in, and obviously there's loads of stuff going on, and there's some unusual, what look like gambling games going on, and there's some booths, and there's all sorts of privacy booths where you can see young ladies potentially dancing. Rog, you think you see a Sylvaneth maiden, a dryad, dancing in one of these booths. Each to their own, I guess. But so you sort of partake, and there's a bar, and sort of Lady Clara sort of points you to the bar, and then she ventures off, and the barman's behind there, and he's sort of cleaning up glasses and so. And he's, can I get you, gentlemen, anything? Just clean up. No drinks for any of you?
Do you have anything that's not human swill?
Oh, sir, absolutely. And he goes under the bar, and he sort of slides along, and then he comes back up, and there's a big old tankard, and he's like, fine Dwarden ale, brewed in Gairan, just outside the walls with special hops, made by some master brewer. Costs a lot of money. Are you able to pay for that, sir?
Dathos is covering our tab. Isn't that right, big man?
My lord. And he nods to you, seeing as you know.
Yeah, barman dude, can I have a couple of those as well, please?
Absolutely. My lord Davos, as they do. That will be 10 aquagranas, please. This is very expensive.
I don't even know if I've got any money.
You most definitely do. You're Stormcast Eternal. You've got aquagranas.
Where would that be?
Yeah. It should be in your gear.
Oh, is it drops?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll dish over the drops. I've got 65, so
it's fine. Excellent. Thank you, my lord.
So what was that, 10?
Yeah, 10. Please, and you'll get a refill for half price on that. And you're sort of drinking away, and you're sort of surveying the room, and there's, like I said, lots of things going on. You hear some cheering from out the back where Lady Clara went to. You don't have to wait long. She comes back fairly sharpish. She walks back and Mr. Moon will see you now. And please follow me. And she sort of guides you through. And she takes you into the... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, as Grim is walking through, he's trying to roughly get a count of the number of people he sees in here with the crescent moon tattoos on their face. So he knows how big of a fight we're going to have on the way out.
Excellent. Yes, you roughly looking around, obviously not entirely sure who's guard and who's a sort of worker, bar person, but you kind of get an idea, like the people that are sort of carrying themselves bigger. You think there's around 5 to 8 armed people in there that would potentially be, and obviously the 3 on plus the 3 on the door, which you will have to make your way past if this goes that direction, as it were. So you make your way through, and that's what you sort of account for. They're sort of scattered around. Some of them are very obvious guards. They're sort of set there, weapons, whatever. And then some you think maybe are dotted around to keep an eye on the potentially no cheating and things like that going on.
Grim looks back at Tansel. This is going to be a good day, I have a feeling. A very good day.
Don't like fighting, really, but yeah, it looks like we could put down a few people.
So
perhaps maybe we can get out of here, gentlemen, without resorting to violence.
You never know; it might be possible, though I feel like it's not. So she takes you through, and Roger, unlike sort of other places your character's been in the city, this is tall. This is luscious. You've got plenty of headspace. It's almost like they've catered for larger characters moving through. And she takes you through the first set of doors, and what you go into, it's a fighting pit. There's a big old pit in the ground. There's sort of chairs around the room. There's obviously, sort of staggered, so then there are barriers so people can lean over. And so you make your way round, and so you glance over, and in the pit fighting are 2 grots. There's 2 grots in there, shivs in hands, and you can hear people cheering and shouting, and there's people going around being like, yep. And obviously, you don't see this kind of stuff in a city of Sigmar normally, especially for you, Daphos. This is really, but Lady Clara goes, we have all our licenses in place for this. Obviously, we report all of this information back to the guild, and we pay our taxes and things that are due on our fights here. So please, if you wish to partake and watch, maybe even compete yourself, we could have that arranged for you. And you hear the little goblins going, I'm going to shiv you. Yeah, I'm going to shove it right in you. As goblins do. But, are any of you wanting to partake, make a bet? No?
Grim looks, he's like,
thank you.
If we only had more time.
Oh, well, you look like a fighter, sir. Perhaps after you finished here, maybe you'd like to come back and maybe join our tally of champions. And on the wall, there's like a sort of like a almost tournament table where people, and she says every few months we hold a tournament and people come and fight. Not to the death, of course. I mean, deaths are inevitable, but it's not always to the death. But of course, you have pressing matters, don't you, at this time?
Yeah. If the place is still here after we leave, maybe I will.
She looks nervously at you as you say that. I hope so too. She kind of shakes it off a little bit and sort of leads you now up to the stairs, and it's like sort of takes you around the arena and up the other side. And there's like two more guards added to the 5 to 8 you saw in the main area, sort of either side of this doorway. And as you make your way up, she knocks on the door. Come in. And the door sort of swings open, and it's a grandiose room, and and as you go in, you sort of realize you can see back out into the whole entire establishment. You're not entirely sure how, but it must be some form of magic or something like that, or whatever. But for the thing uninitiated, it's essentially a double-sided window, so people can't see in. But that it's like magic. So you go in and sit in, sort of purveying over what almost looks like an emperor purveying over his realm, as it were. And he's just sitting there, and it's you can't really see him at first. He's kind of like head down, arms in like this, and come in. You wish to speak to me. And as you get closer to him, you see why he's called Moonface. There is a massive crescent moon scar all over his face, and not just any crescent moon. It's the crescent moon that that the grots worship. It's very clear to it's there. You know what it is. Come in, please. We have some business, do we? And he sees young Matthias sort of standing with you. Young Matthias, we stayed your debt, but your debt still exists. So you're not allowed in our establishment until you're paid that debt. I was just asked by the cartographer to bring these gentlemen to yourself, Lord Moon. And he sort of bows and sort of like prostrates himself to be like all beggy and whatnot. We shall see. Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
Give us our compass back.
Oh, we don't get many shinies in here. I'll take that as an experience. Now, what can I do for you, kind sir? Mr. Lord, what's your name, Shiny?
You can call me Dathos. Dathos.
Davos?
Dathos.
Yeah, wrong show. Dathos. Excellent. So, what can I do for you today?
We know that you're associated with the hit that took place at the cartographer's office earlier today. We know that your forces took this compass. We ask you nicely to return.
You wound me, sir. You wound me. First off, I'd like to say that was a
give us the
rogue element.
compass, or we're going to smash your face through.
My word. I have to say that is that is a fine offer, Master Ideneth. But could I suggest that the only smashing of faces, and he clicks his finger, and as he does, you see from the shadows behind 4 guards step forward. It's not in our best interest to fight here today, I don't think.
Only 4.
You can fetch all the friends you want, man, but still you're going to get your face smashed if you don't give us that, what is it, compass? Yeah, that's the one.
He doesn't seem remotely perturbed by your threats. Look, you see this on my face? I have served the guard for almost 20 years, and I saved a shiny lord from the blow that gave me this. And do you know what I got for that? Removed from the guild, because I frightened the morale of men because I was marked by the dark god of whatever grot or goblin or filthy creature.
A really, really boring story, man. Yeah, give us the compass or we're going to break your face.
Once again, the diplomatic skills of the Ideneth are on show once again. You don't make demands, you make offers. What do you have to give me in exchange for this compass, if I even have it?
I don't break your face. That's an offer.
I mean, you can try and break my face. It won't end well for you. It didn't end,
okay,
it didn't end
I'm
well
going to attack a guard.
There we go.
There was a way. I'm just going to say now, viewers, there was a way for this negotiation to go without.
No, he just asked me to. He just asked me to.
Okay, right. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So in this room, there are 4 guards, Lady Clara, and Mr. Moon himself in the middle of the room. You have as of yet, have not seen a compass either. I'd just like to hasten to add, you've not seen a compass as of yet. So this should be interesting. Okay.
He's hiding it up his ass, and we're going to have a look in a minute.
Oh, God. Right.
There's a medal if you didn't want them.
Right, so initiatives then. So, Daphos, you will get an attack of opportunity on the guards because you've sort of preempted and struck this first. But we'll if I can have all your initiatives for me, please. I think
as a reminder, Grim Redhammer, the speedy Duarden that he is, has an initiative of 2.
Okay.
Where did we get initiative?
I also had initiative of 2.
It's on the combat tab.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure yours is like 6, Tanzil.
I have 6.
Oh, you have 6 as well?
Mm-hmm. Where is it?
It's on the combat tab.
Under where it's got armor and toughness.
I've got 6.
Yeah. Lovely. So 2 6s. Okay, so the 3 guild guard are 3, and Mr. Moonface is 4. So, Daphos, you swing it at a 3 guild guard, please, sir. They have defense good.
Defense good.
Yeah, their defense good.
Quest of Warblade. Oh no, I'm in the wrong bit. I was looking in gear. Sorry.
Combat,
That's
sir.
better. I'm already on good. Roll.
Okay, so you got a focus to apply there, so you can turn one of those 3s into 4. First guard. So the first guard, so you give him a fair old whack, and he tries to intercept tries to block you with his blade, but he's not. It's not good enough to stop you getting him, and your sword bites into his arm, and he kind of But he obviously doesn't. He doesn't go down, and he doesn't look like he's scared. These guys are obviously experienced fighters. They're not like your run of the mill ganger guard. But yeah, so he's bleeding from his arm. You've bitten quite deep into it, but he is still standing. So that will we hand over to maybe Tanzel or Ragewood. Which one of you would like to go first?
After you, Jim.
Okay.
Don't forget about metal spins.
Yes.
Don't forget about what?
Using metal. Don't forget you can use your metal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to use yours, Dan?
Yeah.
Like
So,
Bulwark or something.
I'm gonna basically hit the closest person to me.
Well, they're sort of all because it's quite a small room. It's not a big room. They're all in the same range.
I'm gonna, you know, the geezer who I've just threatened.
Yeah, Mr. Moon.
Yeah, I'm gonna smack him.
Okay, cool. Swing at him. He has a defensive good. Excellent. So, Mr. Moon. Okay, so you have a swing at him. He's surprisingly quick on his feet.
Don't forget focus as well, guys.
Yeah, I've kind of just applied an extra focus to Jim's one on one of the twos.
I bet he is surprisingly quick on his feet because I'm going to be fetching that compass from out of his asshole in a minute.
Yeah, so you swing at him and you think you bite into it. You think your blade catches him. There's definitely a sort of like a bit of blood on the end of your blade, but he kind of spins away from you as you do, and his cloak now flies backwards, and he's got fairly impressive armor. Not as impressive as a dwarf on the front door who's wearing full plate, but he's got fairly impressive armor on. And you see a brace of gunpowder pistols strapped to his front, at least 4 of them, and he's carrying a hammer as well. So before he was like kind of squat on his chair and that. Actually, when he stands up, he's fairly tall and fairly well built. He obviously was in the military at some point. He's continued to take care of himself. But yeah, so you catch him. And how much damage did you do again? And you did after his armor. That's fine. So he has that left.
You can always spend a metal to take another action, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that and hit him again.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I didn't raise my bulwark. I'll do that.
Yeah, if you wanted to raise your bulwark, by all means, go for it.
Ooh, another focus.
Ooh, okay.
7
So
damage.
yeah, I mean, yes, very, very good, sir. So this time, obviously, he spun away from you, and that obviously sort of saved him a little bit of your initial assault. But this one is considerably more, and you sort of thrust towards him as he finishes his flurry spin, and your blade sort of circumvents his armor, sort of goes in and wedges itself into his shoulder, and he grunts, but he's still standing. He's fairly still standing. He doesn't look like he's going to go down.
Bend over, beautiful.
Would you stop it? But he's still standing. But yes, so that's it. So then we move on to Mr. Ragewood. So the Free Guild Guard are sort of, as he sort of sprung back, Rog, the Free Guild Guard are now sort of not in between you two. You could still get to him, but there's Free Guild Guard also sort of closing in, as it were.
I'm just going to swing at the guard. I mean, just kind of let out a low kind of, and then swing.
Go for it.
Oh, that was not good. Okay.
That was not good. Okay, but that's still 2 6s. And still 2 extra. Yeah, so that's good. So that is Free Guild. So you have caught 2 Free Guild Guard. So they take so basically the extra damage you apply across the board is soaked by the armor. But the guy you directly hit, yeah, it looks pretty nasty. You sort of raked him across his chest, and his armor's rented a little bit, and you can see quite a bit of blood coming out of his chest plate.
And I activate Bulwark.
Yeah, but he's still standing, but the other two guys didn't seem to take any damage. It kind of scraped their armor a little bit. It looks like it took most of the blow for them. So what happens next is Mr. Moonface. So obviously you're in combat with him, Jim. But he's going to use a point of metal, and he's got an ability called hit and run. So he draws his two of his pistols, and he also has firing at point blank range. So he can shoot you in combat with no penalties. Let me just equip his pistols. That would help. And he's going to fire twice at you. So his first one. So there you go, and it's piercing, so it's going to ignore a point of your armor. So what's your armor level?
2.
2. So it's going to ignore that 6 activates piercing, so that one's going to just go straight through as damage. But you will ignore one of the other points. So you take 2 points of damage from the first pistol shot.
Where do I put that?
On your toughness, on your combat.
Combat. Toughness. Okay.
And then he's going to fire again. So this time it doesn't pierce, so you take only 2 points of damage this time.
So that's 4 points in total, yeah?
Yeah, 4 points in total. And then he's going to use his metal to do hit and run, which means he basically falls back out of the combat, out of your zone you're in with him. And he get onto him. And then, like, the 3 guild guards sort of close ranks now and start sort of moving forward to sort of try and block and protect. And he kind of casts down the 2, because they're only single shot pistols. So he kind of throws them, kind of like what you see in pirate movies when they're like blasting away and then drawing new pistols. But yes, so he's kind of fallen back from all of you now.
Bastard brought guns to a knife fight, man.
Yeah. Well, he's a crime lord. He's not going to stay around and fight fairly, is he? So his guards sort of move forward now. And so the one that's close to you, Daphos, that you swung first, he's going to fight back. What's your defense rate? You just activated Bulwark.
Bring it. Yes, I'm on great.
Yeah, that's fine. These guys aren't particularly. Yeah, no, he doesn't do anything to you. 2 more close in on the tree. Roger, you also activated Bulwark, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've got great defense as well. So no. This is classic. Oh, we got a success, but you've got armor too, haven't you?
I do.
Yeah, so he doesn't do anything to you. And then the other 2 sort of, one makes his way towards you, Daphos, and the other one makes his way towards our Dwarden friend, who obviously is at the back. No, wait, there's only 4 of them. What am I talking about? That one goes for Daphos. And Daphos, nothing happens to you. So they're sort of, all these guards, they're pressing you. You don't, right now, you realize that he's trying to make his way out of this room. There's obviously somewhere he can go. Because he's backing away still. It's not like he's trying to run to the other door which you came through. Lady Clara is now screaming, asking you all to stop fighting. Please stop fighting. She doesn't want her establishment ruined, basically, by the sounds of things. But we come down to Grim. What would you like to do, sir?
Grim holds up his latch axe and sings out to Grimnar in his gravelly voice, empowering runic empowerment with 1 point of metal, giving everybody a boost to your armor.
Yay! Like this wasn't hard enough already. I'm really going to start throwing some real horrible things at you guys. So, and then obviously Daphos, you fought at the beginning, so swinging all the way back around again. So,
and then for his move action,
course,
he's going to try to circle around and try to get into a position where he can see where Moonface is going, or if he does ditch through someplace, he can see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, ultimately, because like I said, it's quite a small room, and while there's sort of really, it's only one engagement zone. The way he's moving, he's kind of moving to the back of the room, which kind of creates an extra engagement zone. You could easily move because the guards have sort of swarmed on the very shiny, large thing, the elf who was attacking their boss, and the tree. They're kind of mostly ignoring you because you're a naked Doarden at the back of the room. So you could probably make your way around quite comfortably to be sort of fairly close.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what Grim does.
So was my first attack the surprise attack,
yes.
or was it part of this round?
It's part of this round.
Attack?
No, it's part of this round. It's basically what I did was I step you out of the initiative because you kind of you made that preemptive strike. So I didn't want Tanzil and Ragewood to go before you because you kind of initiated the attack.
I love it. Cool.
Yeah. So we're back round again. So we'll start with you, Tanzil. There's now 4 free guild guards sort of around. Well, they're not free guild guard, but they are for stats wise. But there's like 4 criminal guards sort of around you. And it's like you 3 are sort of standing next to each other and the 4 of them are standing in front of you. And it's like a proper melee. You're sort of backing each other up. But Tanzil, you swing first, sir. You've got some guard in front of you.
Right, I'm going to smack him.
Yeah, go for it. They got defense good. Okay, fair enough. So you swing at them, and there's obviously sort of the swirl and melees going on. There's swords clattering and whatnot. But you sort of come under one of them and sort of bring your blade across the top of their legs, towards the groin region. And the guard, he yelps and sort of almost falls down. He's not dead, but there's a lot of blood. He's probably on the verge of death. But yeah, would you like to activate metal at all? Do anything else?
Is there any more?
Again.
Is there any more looking?
Yeah. Like I said, there's 4 guards in front of the 3 of you, and obviously Red Hammer's kind of sneaking around the outside, as it were.
Okay, yeah, we'll smack him again.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh.
And as he's like sort of clutched down to his legs, he's like, "Oh God!" He's come down and he's exposed his throat, and you swing across once and then swing back across, and his throat just opens up and sort of blood splatters across the floor. Some of it hits Lady Clara in the face and she starts screaming, but he falls flat on his face. He is very much dead at this point in time. So Ragewood, you're next, sir.
All right. Well, yeah, just swing the scythe at the guy that I swung at last time.
Yeah, so there's sort of 2 in front of you at this moment in time.
Oh my God, my rolling has been atrocious.
Oof. You got 2 focus, haven't you? So you're gonna you can do that. So obviously no spillover this time, but the one you wedged into the first time, you finish him off this time. So your first strike, you weren't sure the dimensions of the room, so you weren't sure sort of how well your scythe would maneuver in here. But actually, after your first swing, you've realised that the room's plenty big enough for you to swing around, no problem. And where you sort of wedged in and cut his chest last time, you kind of come back out and just come straight down, and you've kind of split his head in 2. But he falls to the floor, and Lady Clara, I don't think she's ever seen this kind of level of bloodshed before, because she's screaming and weeping in the corner.
So there's only one in combat with me now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
there's only one in combat with you now.
So I can't bulwark, so I'll swing again.
You could, I was gonna say you can just metal and swing again. Okay. You can do the 2, can't you? So another one. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 6. There we go. Okay, yeah. So like you've sort of hit your rhythm now, and where you've sort of carved this guy's head in 2, the other guard sort of lurched in towards you, thinking that you're stuck, you're wedged, but actually you're a graceful warrior, and you kind of just sort of bring the blade through the half of the head, and then and you just cut his throat clean open. His half of his head kind of rolls off, and he hits the floor dead as well. Kind of clutching at his throat as he falls down, and then obviously stops clutching because he's bled out all over the floor. And now Lady Clara, you can hear Lady Clara behind you. She's running down the stairs. She's leaving the room now. She's screaming. But yes, over to Moonface then next. So Moonface, he's clearly realised actually he's probably not gauged you properly, and realises he's now in a spot of bother. But he's still in this, so he's going to fire both his pistols because he's a dual weapon wielder, and he's going to fire one at you, Grim, because he kind of catches you at the corner of his eye. He's quite sly. He's not easily sort of caught unaware. So he's going to bust a shot off at you. What's your defense rating?
My defense rating is average.
Average.
Because I am not real solid.
Well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's only so how much? What's your armor at the moment?
2.
2. Okay, so you only take 2 points of damage.
That's not too bad.
So obviously he kind of draws a pistol and cracks it off at you, and then he's going to crack his other pistol off at the Stormcast Eternal. What's your defense rating normally without your without your bulwark? Is it good? Isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fine. Wow, he cracks his shot off, and it actually catches you. You weren't expecting this. So he's got piercing. It's got piercing. So those 2 6s go straight through your armor. You don't get any armor against them. So you take 2 points of damage. The other 2 points of damage, the other 2 points of damage are soaked by your armor. So they but you do take 2 points of damage. Not that you really care about that.
Yeah.
And then he's going to activate and he's going to do another metal, and he's going to do hit and run again. He's trying to put too much distance between. But I think he realizes now that he's not going to be able to get out of the room, because he's essentially, you can see as he's moving backwards, especially you, Grim, because you've sort of made your way around. The others are fighting some free guild guard directly in front of him. But you can see as he's making his way back, he kicks over it's basically a rug, and underneath it is a trapdoor. But he's not sure whether he's going to be able to open it. Say again.
I said, don't you open that trapdoor.
But you can see in his eye, Grim, that he's trying to assess whether he can get that open before you get to him with your axe. And then we'll head over to the 2 remaining free guild guard. No, sorry, the 1 remaining free guild guard, who sort of looks back at his boss trying to retreat and realizes they were sacrificial lambs left to die. So he's sort of furiously swinging his sword around, and the guy directly in front of me is you, Daphos, so he's going to swing at you.
Sure.
He manages to get 2 successes, but it's only damage free, so I'm sure that's just pinged off your armor. Yeah. Thought it might. So over to you, Daphos, because Grim's doing something else, so we'll go to Grim.
Well, if he's the only guy in front of me,
he is indeed the only guy in front of me.
I will attack.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit bedraggled, a little bit sweaty. He's got a couple of cuts on him as well. So,
well, and he was good. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to attack him twice.
No, if you've got a focus point, remember, so you can turn one of those 3s into a 4.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you sort of stab at him and you really catch him, but he doesn't go down. He's still up, but he's.
If there's only one guy in the room, then I can't do bulwark, so I will attack him again.
Go for it.
Oh, for feck's sake.
Just enough. So you sort of like
well, thank goodness.
You sort of like, you blocked his attack with your shield, and in return you sort of thrust from behind your shield, and you kind of get it in, and it gets caught into his armor, but it goes in, and he's like, ah! And then you use your body's force to then push it the rest of the way through. And you're pretty sure you pierced his heart with that one. But he hits the floor, no noise, no screaming, just hits the floor, almost in like an instant death sort of moment. So then we will go over to Grim. Grim, what are you doing, sir?
So first, I've got a question. Would you
it.
say that our short-term party goal is to recover the compass?
Yes, your short-term party goal is to recover the compass.
So, with everybody's permission, Grim is going to charge in, use a point of soul fire, and maximize his attack.
Hell yeah.
I'm not really sure it's necessary.
No, it's totally necessary. Totally do it.
The guy's got a good defense.
Yeah, he's pretty decent in defense. He's got some. He's got
he's
some
on his own, and there's 4 of us.
He's got just. If Roger, you are not given permission,
I just think it's unnecessary.
So you've spent a point of soul fire. Go for it.
Guess I gotta.
Yeah, you got to activate on your thing, haven't you? Excellent. So you go flying in towards him, and he realizes that no, he can't get this trapdoor open before. And you bring the axe up and round, and there's a look of disbelief on his face. He was not expecting this today. But he doesn't scream, he doesn't back away from it, he just looks cleanly at you, stares at you in the eyes as your axe embeds in the top of his head. And even when you embed it in the top of the head, you kind of feel him still staring at you. He's dead, he's clearly dead, but he's staring at you. Just for your record, Aaron, it's a good job you did that, because otherwise you wouldn't have got him.
I know there was no way I was going to get him.
You only got him by 1 point.
I know what my skills are. It's like, as he's dying, he's like, you should have just given us the damn compass like we told you.
And as you pull your axe out, obviously that was the only thing holding him up, and he thuds to the floor. And you can hear a lot of commotion outside.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to go straight to the door to barricade it with whatever I can while we search the room and
Probably
make her escape
yourself
with
is probably the best thing you're
yeah,
going to
so
barricade.
I'll do that with my shield.
Yeah, yeah.
While everyone
Okay,
else
that's fine. So
searches the room.
you can all search the room now.
Grim takes a second to chop off Moonface's head.
Poor Moonface. He was just an entrepreneur. What you've all forgotten is that in the corner, blubbering like a small child and smelling a little bit of urine, is Matthias. He didn't run out of the room when all of this began. He's just kind of in the corner of the room blubbering. I think
he won't have to worry about his debt now.
I think you've broken him as a human being. I think he's probably going to have to check into an asylum after this because it's just like two terrible things in one day. He's in the corner. He's wet himself. There's clearly, you can smell it. It's not a good look for anybody. But he's blubbering in the corner. And you chop off this poor dad. Sorry.
And then search his corpse.
Yeah, we'll search his corpse in the room.
Okay, if you can give me some intuition rolls, people, as you look around the room.
Intuition, okay.
This is why I was just searching the body, because my intuition is not so good.
Yeah, I mean, you're searching his body. Based on your level of successes, let's call it a 3-1 for now, and then based on your successes and whatnot, we'll see what we all find.
Oh, I actually got two. Got an additional.
And Tanzil also got 2 successes.
Sorry, what was the difficulty?
We're calling it a 3-1, but you'll probably going to find more and more. You sort of look around.
What does advantage do? Because apparently I get advantage for anything to do with this sort of thing.
Isn't yours in that hunter? Isn't that advantage for traps and things like that?
To track, find, trap, or hunt. Oh, creatures. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, okay, right, cool, excellent. So you're all searching around. Obviously, you're looking through the body, Grim. On the body, obviously, there's a single pistol left unarmed. Obviously, his very nice looking hammer. But no compass that you can see. There is a note, however, and it's the full note. Remember when you went in the guild, you found ripped up note that said "Get the compass," but it was ripped up. This is the whole note, and it says "Get the compass, bring to C," and just the letter C. Tanzil, you look in a cabinet, and there's clearly a box, evidence that the compass was stored in there. And Ragewood, you're looking around, and actually, what you see is not what's going on in the office, but what's going on outside the office, because you look through so you're arcing around, and you see Lady Clara run into the bar, and she's furiously sort of looking for something under the bar.
Okay. What's the quickest way to get to the bar?
Back the way you came.
Or through the window.
I mean, you could jump through the window.
Oh, how big is the window?
I mean, it's big enough for you to jump through. And you would land sort of just outside the fighting pit. You can see as well, Ragewood, as obviously you've sort of looked down and seen her run to the bar. And actually that makes now sense with the note that Grimm's found. And actually, Tanzil, when you found the safe, there was a sweet smell on the air, like a perfume. The kind of all three of you put this all together, and you think Lady Clara is actually the one with the compass, and actually maybe Moon never had really the compass in his possession. So,
I'll just go, Clara has it, and jump through the window. I'll just smash, basically, Scythe going through first, me following.
Okay, so you land in what was just outside the fighting pit, and you can see the fighting pit. All sort of guests are all running out and screaming. And
yeah, I'd beeline for her.
Yeah. But as you do, obviously there was 2 guards outside the door who didn't make their way in with the commotion, and actually now that makes more sense, because what they did was they followed Lady Clara. And as you sort of make your way around, standing sort of in the doorway to get into the main bar area, are 3 guards with swords and shields, and they're kind of standing there, and they're sort of getting ready to receive your charge. Davos, you see him leap out of the window. I'm assuming you're going to unbarricade the door, and you're going to...
Seems like we're going.
Yeah.
I'll head down the staircase.
Yeah, okay, in which case, Ragewood, swing first for me, and then all the rest of you will join on the next round of combat, because you're all sort of making your way down the stairs and whatnot.
See, this is
And
where
I'm
I've been great to use Soulfire.
Yeah, so go Aaron, before we run into the
I was just going to say, I mean, is this still like one combat?
No, we're
Okay.
Are you thinking about what, healing and things like that, or
No, I was just thinking about metal regeneration and whether or not I could have maintained the runic.
yeah, I'll let you maintain
empowerment.
the runic
Okay.
empowerment, because in your mind, even though we came out of combat, in your mind, you've just killed the boss of the room, and you're gonna have to find a compass and get out. So
okay.
the chances are you're not gonna be getting out of here without any fights or anything like that.
So Grim is still chanting as he runs down the stairs behind Dathos.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fine. So you guys will join in the next round, but we'll go straight for Ragewood, and then we'll sort of come into the next thing of combat. So go,
If
Mr.
I could have
Ragewood.
had Soulfire, I could have taken all of these 3 out.
There's still 2 Soulfire in the
I
bank.
know, but I don't want to.
Nah, give him another Soulfire. Do it.
The 3 guys, is one of them the dwarf of these guys?
No. You don't see rock, hard, or place yet.
What's their defense?
Defense is good. So are you using Soulfire, or are you just continuing as you are?
Do it.
Use it. Why not? We'll still have 1 left, and when we get the compass back, we'll be back up to 2.
It's true.
If I was going to do that, what I would have done is use my metal to add to my.
You can't do that when you use
Can't,
Soulfire.
yeah, you can't do Soulfire and adding
All right.
training to
Why
your
not?
thing. Yeah, you kill all 3 guards, so they sort of brace themselves and look. You know, they look fairly. They're feeling very heroic at the moment, and you just boom, 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 and quite a lot of speed for a large tree. They weren't
I
expecting
forgot
it.
I was charging. It's actually 1 extra damage.
It's fine. You killed them with what you got.
I think you're right.
And your sweep. As you're approaching them, you realise they're all the exact same height. It's like humans come in certain sizes, and you think they're all 3 of them bang on the exact same height, and you think their necks are actually pretty soft, and you just cleave straight across, and literally 3 heads just hit the floor and roll across the floor, and the bodies part for you, and all 3 of them are dead. And you, I'm assuming you're going to use your move to make your way down the stairs and towards the bar area.
Yeah, my momentum is straight towards her.
Yeah, I figured. So you make your way into the bar, and it's now the suspicions of Grim are now confirmed. There are 8 guards standing in this room, and they are desperately trying to put something between you and Clara, who's still behind the bar, frantically trying to sort of get what she's there to get. And at this point, sort of at the corner of your eye, all 4 of you see the main doors open, and in walks Rock, Ard, and Place. And while they look like they're sort of Rock and Place look like they're sort of like looking for Lady Clara, and that Ard levels his axe towards Tanzil. He's coming, and he's obviously in thick plate, and he's making his way across the room. He does not look best pleased, and actually he does look kind of pleased. He looks like he's going to maybe chalk off a grudge that's in the Book of Vengeance. But we'll continue into the initiative steps now, because what I probably imagine is that the rest of you kind of sped up behind him, sort of Ragewood, and all made your way into the main chamber, and the guards are like frantically trying to come up, and a couple of them have flipped up tables and trying to slow you down. But in front of you, 1 zone ahead of you, is 8 guards at this moment in time. So we will start at the top. Ragewood or Tanzil, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go for it, sir.
What's their defense?
Good.
Has been my rolls tonight.
That's not too bad, because you've got a point of focus. You can turn that 2 into a 3 as well. So that's an extra point.
We'll turn that frown upside down.
Turn that frown upside down. So you do 6 damage, and that's a pretty hefty whack. So you actually come in and you actually like cleanly just take off this man's arm, and he screams, and blood kind of splats up your armor, because he kind of, the stump waves around a little bit. He's not dead.
I'll throw my hair back so my wet hair whips him.
Don't do this.
Nice.
He's still standing, but like barely still standing.
Got metal as well, Jim.
Yep, you got metal, Jim.
We'll give one of them, and we'll smack him another time.
Go for it. Yeah, he's dead. Doesn't matter what you literally, you just needed to roll 2 successes, and that's exactly what you rolled. He is dead. So he kind of screams and he stumps, waving around, and there's blood sort of splatting everywhere. And some blood gets in the eyes of the guy next to him, and so he's not going to be able to attack now because he's desperately trying to clear his eyes. And as he's doing that, you kind of just thrust your blade into his neck, and then he's kind of moving his stump because that was his good arm to get to his throat, but obviously he can't. He's got a stump. And he just collapses to the floor. It's mildly humorous whilst also being very dark. But Tanzil, you seem to be mildly enjoying yourself. For an elf who says he's an emissary and doesn't like to fight, you seem to be enjoying yourself a little bit too much. But the guard who was...
we like I say, we end the fight quickly.
You're not
Because he's
wrong.
still like collecting souls while all this is going on.
Yeah. So he's while all this is going on, you can see he's got like a little lantern on his side, and it's getting brighter as things go on.
Nice.
He's got a soul lantern, and it's just absorbing the souls of these lovely, lovely people as you cut them down. But yeah, Jim, that's your turn. Ragewood. So standing ahead of you, you got Tanzil sort of directly towards the bar area where you can see Lady Clara still sort of fidgeting behind the bar. There's sort of a collection of 3 guards to sort of like, where the bit that lifts up for the bar that lets you get behind. There's that. And there's 3 guards kind of standing there. There's a guard standing next to Tanzil, but he's got blood in his eyes, so he's not going to be able to fight at the moment because he's desperately trying to wipe his eyes clear. And then there's another 3 guards to your right-hand side, and there's a 4th guard that's sort of, not 4th guard, a 7th guard who's run off to Rock Arden Place to sort of quickly, come on. So you can go in and go anywhere. They're only one zone ahead of you. So
what basically whichever ones are in between myself and Clara.
In which case you are going to your left, and there's the free guard just there. So go for it, sir. You'll need to charge you can move into their engagement range, or you can charge into them.
Why not? Let's charge.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So your 2 points that carry over, they don't do any damage. They glance off the armor, but the guy you thwack, maybe his armor kind of slows your strike down, which is why it doesn't damage anybody else. But you basically cleave him in 2 at the hip. Or just above the hip in the soft mid belly. You kind of feel it hit his spine, come out the other side, and there's gore and stuff that's kind of splatters over the floor, and you can see some guests, and there's the Sylvaneth dancing girl who's just kind of staring at you. You don't know why. Sylvaneth, they don't have many facial features in terms of what she's thinking, but she's watching you. She's enjoying what she sees potentially. So you cut their bloke in half, and he hits the deck. But the other 2 guards, their armor kind of stops it moving any further. Maybe you lost some momentum, getting caught in the spine a little bit, but that first guy's dead. Would you like to do anything else?
Yeah, I'll bulwark.
What? I'm not surprised. So it comes over to the guard. So the one standing by you, Tanzil, he's not doing anything. He's too busy. He's going to spend this turn cleaning his face so he can actually see what he's trying to hit. The other 3 guards on the other side, on the other side of the room, they see you, Mr. Shiny, Mr. Daphos, with the Dwarden standing next to you, and they charge in at you.
Cool.
So they are going to charge. Let's see. So you are good at the moment because you haven't got Bulwark activated. So,
Indeed.
Wait, no, that does nothing because you've got loads of armor on. No, does nothing to you. And surprisingly, does nothing to you. So all 3 of them come sort of wading towards you, and sort of like they think now is their time, now is their moment. They're going to be heroes and take down the big shiny guy. And of course, that's not what happens. And they kind of just clang off your armor. You kind of parry a few of them with your blades and shields and stuff. But you're not even breaking a sweat. This isn't even bothering you remotely. The 2 guards in front of you, Roger, they're going to attempt to swing at you, but you're currently great defense, so I'm not expecting to. No. I mean, I think it's actually impossible for them to do damage to you, right? There's no one inside. Yep, and the 2 guys, they're kind of hitting your branches, but it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. And the other guard who ran to the back of the room is now moving forward with rock hard in place. They look a bit more tactical. They look like they're preparing, to sort of do a fight. And then we shall move down the to Red Hammer or Daphos. Which one of you would like to go first? You got 3 guards.
Oh, thank you very much. I'd like to try something different. So, is it possible to kind of, within one combat round, barge past the guard with my shield to almost throw myself over the bar to land on?
I like it. I like it.
To stop her from getting away.
That there is in combat. You can disengage. They don't have any talents that would give them anything to get you a thing of. So I would say if you're going to use all your actions to do a move, give me a what we got here. Give me a might test.
Might.
And we'll call it because we'll call it on their body. So what their body is 2. So it's a 3-2.
Okay.
If you can do this. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, and in which case, so you actually just bowl straight through them. That smash, and actually you don't flip over the bar. You go through the bar with that roll.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on being like ninja about it. I'm literally just
you're a Stormcast Eternal. You put your shield in front of you and you become a living battering ram. You bowl over these 3 guys. They gain the prone condition.
Fantastic.
So they're all laying on the floor now, right in front of a red hammer with a big axe. And you storm past. Obviously, Ragewood's at the end of the bar. He was trying to use the entrance to the bar like a civil person. You've created an entrance to the bar, and you smash straight through it. And glasses go everywhere. You see this big barrel sort of roll out. Grim, a little tear comes to your eyes because it says X on it, and it cracks open as it hits the floor. It's a sad moment. And you have your coin in your eye, Daphos. You see Ard. But he's axe towards you. You've now got a grudge against you as well, sir. But you go straight through the bar. Just as you go through the bar, Clara goes, "I've got it!" And she's holding up the compass. And then she realizes one side of her is Ragewood, one side of her is a big shiny man, and maybe her position is not as safe as she first thought. But that is your entire action. You have stopped her from having any sort of real retreat. However,
is talking a free action?
Yeah. I'll let you talk.
Surrender.
She points, and behind you, approaching you, is Rock, Ard, and Place.
I'm going to give Rock Hard a big thrashing.
You're going to beat them all off furiously.
Pardon?
I've been waiting half the night for those ones.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have called him Rock Hard and Place. Okay. Mr. Grimhammer, there are 3 men prone in front of you, which means you'll get bonus dice to hit them, I believe, off the top of my head. Let me just triple check that for us. I've got it here in my rules. Why can I not find it? There it is. Whoop, pop, poppity pop. Prone creature can only move by crawling. The creature's melee and defense accuracy is decreased by 1 step and close range. So their melee defense has now gone down to average, and you get a bonus dice against them to hit them.
All right.
So there's 3 of them laying on the floor, and they're kind of like sort of rolling over. They've just been bowled over. They're trying to get their bearings, and that's what they're rolling into each other.
So I'll look down. Boyos, you made a mistake with this day. And then I will swing the latch axe down at one of their heads.
Yes, you do that. You do that. First one, you crack his head clean open. It's like an Easter egg, only there's goo inside it, and it ain't pretty. He stops moving, stops screaming. There's no noise. He hears dead. It's a bit gross to look at, but you don't care. You're a seasoned veteran of wars and all sorts of things. So, kind of sizzles on your axe because your axe is, you're a rune smite. It's probably a little bit hot. Nice smell of burning flesh in the air. And the other 2 look utterly terrified now. They're both prostrate.
Red Hammer just looks down, sighs, uses a point of metal. Now he's got 0 metal because he's still maintaining his runic empowerment. Just brings the axe up and swings it back down like he's chopping wood.
Oh man, these poor guys. Don't forget your bonus dice for them being prone.
Got it.
And the fact that they're only average defense now, not good.
Average defense. Same thing, basically.
Same thing again. Yep. So, yep. Yeah, it is just like you are chopping wood. First head cracks, second head cracks. Exactly the same. Sizzling flesh, yucky gore. It's not pretty to look at. The other guy wets himself. He was.
Grim looks at him and goes, "Time to run, son."
And he will promptly do that next round. So obviously that's what happened. So we come back to the top. Ragewood, I'll let you go first. So you've still got 2 in front of you, and Clara's obviously slightly off to your right, and further off to the right is Daphos, but you can also see the other 4 now approaching, and the Dwarden does not look best pleased.
Isn't it 3?
No, because one of the guards ran over to him as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's a standard guard with them. So there's rock, hard place, and a guard.
I'll try and deal with these 2.
Go for it. Okay. So the cleave doesn't do anything. And with that extra application, you kill the one you swing at. So you swing at that one. And
I'm only in combat with 1 now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I may as well swing again then.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, go for it. I'll see what happens on the next one.
I was poor.
Yes.
You can make that 5 a 6 and that 2 a 3, though.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Lovely, jubbly. Okay, so your first one you cleave into, and it's like a hot knife through butter. You obviously catch him right between the armor and the weak spot, and he kind of yelps and like kind of tries to get himself off your weapon, but as he does, you kind of pull through, and it's got him under here, and then it's kind of just pulled out, and he just kind of collapses on the floor. You carry on going. You hit the other guy, and it forces him back towards the wall and sort of opens a space for you to now get behind the bar. He's still alive. He's bleeding, and actually you think you caught him right on the point of the armor and kind of glanced in and sort of, he's looking pretty frail, but he is still alive.
Okay. I mean, if I can maneuver behind the bar, I will do that.
So how I imagine it happened is you kind of you kill the first one, and then you kind of wedge the blade in, and because he didn't
the other
die,
one kind of swing.
You kind of swing it, and as you do, you kind of maneuver yourself round into now the gap of the bar. So there's literally, unless Clara in her very large dress tries to climb over the bar itself, which is not going to be graceful in any way, shape, or form, she's got nowhere to go. There's a giant tree and a giant silver man either side of her. So, Tanzil, over to you. The guy has just finished cleaning the blood from his mate off his face in time for you to see you do whatever you're about to do.
He can clean my house saber from his face now.
Yeah, I mean, it's an admirable job. He's still standing, but he's looking a bit worse for wear. Would you like to spend the metal to swing again?
Yeah.
Go for it, sir. Yeah, he's dead. Again, you're graceful, you're fluid, you're an elf, you're cool, man. You're just like, yeah, and you're kind of moving around, and it's a death by 1,000 cuts. As you step back, it's almost like you've carved a T into him, like Zorro would have done with his Z. And he kind of just looks at you in surprise at how fast you were moving and slicing, and then his brain kind of realizes, oh wait, I'm dead, and then he just kind of falls into a heap on the floor. And you are clear of enemies in front of yourself at the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim, I interrupted you there.
No, yeah, free of does anybody look in trouble?
Not at the moment, but that might change in a minute.
Because Rock Hard Place are coming up.
Yes, they are.
Where is Rock Hard Place?
So they are making their way towards Daphos. I mean,
yeah, let's go and stand by Daphos.
Okay, so they're a couple of zones away, so you can use your movement to close the space. You won't be able to get next to them at this moment in time, but you will be able to.
Is it possible that I could sneak up behind them?
Yeah, I mean, they seem intent on moving Daphos out of Clara's way, so the 4 of them have kind of head towards Daphos specifically because right now he's between Clara and the door to get out of the bar. So they're sort of not got their backs to you, but their focus is kind of squarely off. And to your right hand side, you can see Grim happily chopping wood behind you. So yes, you can sort of make your way forward. Do you know what? Give me a stealth roll, please, just to see if they. You're not trying to you're not like trying to hide, but you're trying to move in such a way to not draw attention. I'll give it to you free. Oh, I was going to say free 2, but more than enough to say they don't spot you at all. You're moving very gracefully and very quietly. They don't notice you, and they're still moving directly towards Daphos. Cool. So in terms of initiative, where do we find ourselves? So Ard is a Dwarden, so he doesn't move very fast at all. He's initiative 3. He is initiative 3. I mean, I built these characters. I should know what they do. So we go next to initiative 4, which is Rock and Place. So Rock and Place, they're coming towards you, Daphos. You've kind of positioned yourself in the bar, but you knew they were coming, so you've kind of turned your shield to and you haven't got your back to them. They got these very large halberds. So what's your defense rating at the moment? You didn't put Bulwark up, did you? Because you were too busy.
No, I didn't, because I did all my actions, so I'm just on good.
Yeah, so you're just on good. That's fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. There we go. Oh, he did not roll particularly well at all.
I'm fine with that.
I would be too.
Sigmar is with us.
Yeah, and then place swings. No. So, damage 4. Oh no, you are currently armor 4, aren't you? Because
I am.
You're still maintaining.
Red Hammer's bonus is still up. Thank you. I love that power. It's my favorite power of the game, and I don't even have it. The sort of loose Free Guild guard bloke who sort of ran off to him and said, "Quickly, guys, come in. There's trouble." He's sort of running down the other end of the bar to try and save his mate who's been attacked by a tree. So he kind of just runs down. I'm not even going to roll it because he can't hurt you, Ragewoods. Even if he rolls all 6s, he can't do enough to hurt you with the arm bonus and everything you've got going on at the moment. So he kind of just flusters at your back and sort of hits you on the back, and you can kind of feel it, but you're not that bothered by it. But next, Ard comes bowling in towards you. Out the way, you louts! I'll show you how it's done. And he's brings this very large axe up towards you, Daphos. All right, this is the one. This is the one we've been waiting for.
And you have just taken 8 points of damage, sir. Now -4 because obviously you armor 4, but you do take 4 points of armor.
Right.
And this axe, it kind of glows and whistles as it comes through the air, and it hits you hard. And you feel it doesn't pierce through your armor. You don't feel blood or sort of life force, but you feel the crumple of plate being hit really freaking hard. And then he's gonna spend a metal and swing again. And he does another 8 points of damage, which means you take another 4 points of damage. This guy, he's not just some pushover, run-of-the-mill Dwarden. This axe. You can see it glowing now. Daphos, as it's swinging through the air and it's being used.
I'm not saying anything, but that axe is Aaron's by the end of this time.
So Grim's thinking too. He's like, dibs.
Well, if you can kill him. So yeah, this axe, and Grim from the other side of the room, you can see it swinging now, and actually you see it. This is a Gromril forged at the time of myth when the Dwarden used to live in the mountains before they were forced to retreat before the Age of Chaos. This is an old axe, and it's made for crumping. It's made for doing a lot of damage. And you can see the sort of the magical trails of sort of magic, as it's like not magic but runic magic. The thing stuff of Dwarden. It's doing some damage, and you can see Daphos. He's reeling a little bit. He's been attacked by 3 fairly comprehensive characters. But especially Ard, he is doing some serious work, and he kind of like, and then he's sort of free action. He turns, take care of the rest of them. I'll deal with this shiny. And the other 2 sort of turn around, trying to like pick up where the rest of you are and sort of like where to take the next steps. And then we get to Daphos, and Grim.
So can Grim go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Grim will-
that free guild guard that was at your feet, he also ran.
Yeah, okay.
He ran streaking out the door, screaming and crying.
Grim runs through the hole in the bar that Dathos made, unfortunately has to drop his runic empowerment, probably, lays his forge key against Dathos's back and says, "Just hit the bastard." And casts Cauterize. Oh, yeah, I can't do that from the hold on, I got it. It's soul and devotion. Okay. And I will hold on. So I will also use that point of metal to increase it by my soul rating. So he will get 5 wounds, 5 toughness back.
Toughness.
What's your soul? Isn't your soul 4?
3.
Oh, 3. Yeah. So
That's
no, the
still,
6.
every little helps.
So the 6 is an additional success. So that's
Okay.
So it's 6 you get back.
6 you get back.
All right. Okay. Excellent.
Just hit him, Dathos. Hit him hard.
Right.
All right, Daphos. Haven't you got some talents that are available to you at this point?
Like the
Uh,
one-on-one
Like the
thing.
calling out on the challenge and stuff like that?
Yeah, heroic challenge. I'll call out heroic. Yeah, but heroic challenge means he's going to attack me. This is scary.
I think he's going to attack you anyway, dude.
Yeah, so I'll call out heroic challenge.
Cool. He happily accepts your heroic challenge. So you obviously you gain a bonus to your melee step now.
Okay.
So are you gonna hit hard?
I'm gonna hit hard, or at least attempt to.
You can also double your training dice if you use point of metal instead of attacking twice.
Yeah, you could also do that.
Depends what the training dice is like.
Yeah.
So
does that mean he's
defense?
what does he to hit?
He's defense good. He's a big.
But he's down to average now because I'm using my thing.
No.
No.
You get
Your
a
melee
bonus.
your melee step increases. His doesn't go down, and he's not hitting anybody else, so his complexity doesn't get worse because he is fighting you. Basically,
So
what you've done is give yourself a bonus to hit. So you've gone from good to great.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, which is actually important because he's only defense good, which means you're now hitting him on 3s, not 4s.
Okay, I will do it without the metal and just rather than attack him again if needed. Balls.
You got to focus though. You can make one of those 2s or 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Excellent. You hit, and it feels pretty solid when you hit. I mean, this is a solid Dwarden in plate mail. So you think you've done something to him, but it didn't feel like a lot. It felt like you hit him, and it was more of a
Right.
kind of a,
Do I raise bulwark or do I attack him again?
Raise bulwark. Remember, your
Yeah.
armor's 1 less than it was before.
yeah,
Because
because you're now down. You're now down to armor 3. He definitely took some damage from you, but it wasn't probably not nearly as much as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I will raise bulwark.
Excellent. We are back to the top of the table. Tanzil, I'll come to you first because you were trying to do some sneaky maneuvers.
Like whipping out the eel.
I imagine he parked the eel outside. So they didn't notice you, Jim, even though they've turned around and they're surveying the room. Somehow you've like sort of cloyed yourself in apathy and they don't see you coming. So in front of you is rock and place. They've kind of turned. Behind them is Ard. And then the other side of that is Daphos and Redhammer. And then sort of slightly off to your left-hand side, in the opening of the bar, is Clara, who's still trying to decide what she's going to do in this moment. And then there's a little bit further on, there's you can see him, big old tree, and 2 free guild guards sort of on the back of him, but not much is going on down that end. It looks like he's probably got that fine.
Yeah, we'll smash the place.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to give you advantage on this because you rolled very well for your stealth. So I'll give you a bonus 2 dice to hit
Nice.
place, and he is defense good. Oh, very nice, very nice. And you've got to focus to turn one of those 2s into a 3. So that makes 7 damage. He's only got 2 armor, so he takes 5 points of damage. He yelps, so you kind of come round the side.
Yeah, can I metal and smack him again?
You absolutely can. You won't get the bonus for the second because he knows you're there now, so you won't get the bonus 2 dice on the second one. Oh,
Nice.
You don't bloody need it, apparently. So, like, your first strike, you kind of sneak round. You Cloyd and Apathy, they can't see you for some reason. Who knows? They can't see you. And Place is like, with his halberd, he's sort of scanning the room, and to his right, Rock is also scanning his room. And out of nowhere, you kind of just appear, and you slice him. He's like, ah! And he kind of turns towards you, and as he does, you kind of duck under his very fumbled sort of swing with his halberd. And you kind of plunge your blade in and bring it up and out again. And you like kind of stand heroically as his insides become outsides and he falls to the floor. However, this doesn't have necessarily a desired effect you maybe thought it was going to have, because Rock is like, no, brother. And he looks very angry now.
That's fine. But you know that,
my brother.
You know, because that last roll was that good. Can I also flick my hair so there's a bit of water splashes across the dwarf in front? Yeah.
The dwarf, who's very much concentrating on the shiny in front of him.
Yeah. He's just
he just feels this splatter, and you can't see his face, but you know there is a level of anger and grudge, and just you can feel the anger emanating off of him. I mean, it's getting warm in the room, and I ain't the fire slayer. Okay, we move over to our good friend Mr. Ragewood. You got 2 free guild guard. They're kind of slapping at you, Lady Clara. You sort of worked your way. They're now kind of like, here's the bar opening. You're standing in the bar opening, and they're kind of now the other side of the bar. So you're sort of in the bar now, and they're outside the bar.
Yeah, trying to smack someone. Again, that's pretty poor. Hopefully, it'll be enough to finish the badly wounded.
Yeah. You finish off that lad who was sort of skewered on the end of your blade. He's dead. You kind of actually, when you just pull it out, he kind of just dies. Actually, I think your blade was stopping him from bleeding out. But he's dead.
And then I'll kind of pull it out and swing it round at the next guy.
Lovely jubbly. Roll for me again, please. Oh, let's roll again. I wasn't paying too much attention.
I forgot to add. Yeah, so
Excellent.
I will turn another 1 into another 6, or I'll get another damage basically.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, same as I saw before. He looks pretty much done, but he's not entirely out of it. Sort of blood. He realizes that maybe coming to fight a tree was probably a really bad idea, but he is still standing.
I suggest you leave.
And as we move down the initiative order, we move to initiative 4, which is Rock. He charges at you, Tanzil, pretty hard as well. And your defense is great, is it, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, your defense is great. But he has a Berserk Fury because you've just killed his brother. So he gets a bonus dice and a step in the initiative. Not initiative, step in the melee thing. So he does 5 points of damage, and you actually take a point. You lose a point of armor. So your armor now goes down to armor 1.
Okay.
So you soak 1 of that damage now. And you take 4 points of damage.
4 points there. That takes me over my toughness.
Then
1 wound.
That means you are wounded, sir.
So do I put 8 on there? Yeah.
On what?
On the toughness.
You should be down to 0 toughness. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So when it says obviously I've gone one over. It's gone to 8. So do I just put that on my character sheet at 8?
Yeah. So you know you've got your wounds.
So
You've got
right,
wound
so,
counter. So up your wound counter. So you see where it says 0-4.
yeah, it won't let me do that.
Oh, will it not?
No.
That's unusual. Let me have a look. Is there a way for us to? Oh, it won't let me do it either. How unusual. Okay, keep a note. You've taken a wound. Oh no, there you go. You got to add a wound. There you go.
Yeah.
Under the
just-
bonus
yeah,
wounds.
No. So just below there's a wound type wounds, and you can add it. So
Yeah.
it says add wound. And
Minor wound, yeah.
Yeah, it's a minor
Yeah,
wound.
minor
Yeah,
wound.
minor wound. Yeah. So you've got 3 of your wounds remaining. So you're not out of the fight. You can't. It's not like you can't act, but you're pretty badly banged up now. So you wasn't expecting that. He obviously came at you pretty hard. You did just kill his twin. So
Yeah, no, I totally expected it, to be fair.
Moving on to initiative step 3, the remaining 3 guild guard who looks a bit banged up and whatnot that was by the tree.
Could I just say though that when he does like smash me up, that I make sure that I whip my hair back and forth, and he just get wet in the process.
That's fine. You'll get to go before him anyway, so you never know. You might make it out alive.
Yeah.
The gang of guards bloke who was fighting the tree takes the tree's advice and runs clean out of the door. Clara genuinely doesn't know what to do with herself right now. She's kind of banking on the dwarf taking out the shiny man, which he might do because he's about to swing.
Uh-oh.
Woohoo.
So your melee defense, because bulwark doesn't affect now, does it? Because there's only one of them you're fighting against now. Because bulwark, is that a bonus against multiple opponents?
It's 2 opponents.
Yeah, so you're not fighting 2 opponents because.
All right, let me take that off. In which case it is
good. Yeah.
Good. Oh dear.
You're okay. You're okay. He's only done 7 points of damage this time, but you're only armor free, so it's still 4 points of damage you've just taken.
Still in it.
And he's like, "You're gonna go down, shiny," and he swings it around again, spending his metal. And even though he can't see you, he goes, "Your next, pointy ears," as he swings his axe. Oh! So you take another 4 points of damage, sir.
That's okay. I got you.
4 points of damage.
Yes, you've taken 8 in total.
That's it. I've taken a wound.
You've taken a wound.
But didn't I heal? Didn't I heal you 8 last time?
You healed him 6 last time.
Oh,
you healed me 6.
Oh, okay.
And I had 1 left, so I was on 7.
So give yourself a minor wound, sir. But he has swung twice, and that's it. So it's over to you 2 now. So make a choice between Grim or Dathos. Who would like to go?
Well, I've got the key against his back still, and I'm muttering to Grimner, "Keep this damn walking tin can on his feet." Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that you can't actually roll from there. Hold on.
Yeah, it's an awkward one. It doesn't let you roll the talent, does it?
Yeah. Okay. And I'll spend my point of metal, so you get
6 again, isn't it?
6 again. 6 back.
6 toughness again. Excellent. Dathos, over to you, good sir.
Was one of those points a wound back, or was it just all toughness?
Wounds heal after rests and stuff.
Okay.
So
Get you back to 6.
So it puts you back onto 6 toughness. So you've now got essentially.
Okay. Again, I can't seem to be able to change my wound.
Yeah, you need to enter a wound. So if you go, but you know where it says wound. If you go a little bit below, there's a box that says wound type.
Yeah.
There's a little plus button. If you push and then go add wound, and then it'll ask you, and you can add a minor, major.
Done it. Fantastic. Yes.
There you go.
Sorry, my bad.
That's fine. No,
right,
let's
do this.
Are you gonna double your training dice this time, or?
I think it's gonna have to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a better chance, I think, of getting through his armor that way.
And I'm on.
You're on great. He's on good.
Great. Oh, that's
very
a bit
nice.
better.
There we go. That's a lot better.
Yeah,
So-
8 damage if you up one with a focus.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
No, because you can only up it to 2. He needs to get it to freeze.
Can he
No,
not
he
change
can, he can make a
6?
5 to a 6.
yeah, I'm going to
yeah.
make 5 to a 6.
Yeah, good point. So it takes it up to 8. Okay, cool. Let me just go over to hard. Yeah, at this time he grunts. You think you've landed a fairly decent blow on him this time. And you can actually see a little bit of blood trickling out between a little gap in his armor.
Jesus.
But he's still fairly in the fight. But you did land a good blow that time. So he's not
It's okay.
he's not dead. He's not out. But he has taken a bit of a.
Anyone want to give us a hand on this? Red Hammer's doing
Somebody,
great,
please.
but I need some other stabby, please.
Yeah. So
Because
just
if Dassos falls, I'm pretty sure Grim can't even actually hit this guy. So.
just for your information, out of the 8 you just did, you only did 4 damage to him.
That's what I figured.
Oh,
for armor.
he's a stout guy. He's got a beautiful beard, a beautiful grey long beard. Just to remind you, you could have negotiated your way out of this conflict.
We did. We tried.
Not entirely sure that's what I would call what you guys did tonight.
It's aggressive negotiation.
Yeah, sure. So we are back at the top. So Clara sort of sees the fight over his own. She doesn't know combat. She's not sure how to gauge it. There is a big heavy Dwarden, a flamey Dwarden, and a shiny guy all fighting, and she's not sure how it's going. There's an elf fighting a bloke, but there's a tree standing right next to her at this point in time, looking at her. She's not armed. She's not equipped for fighting, and she goes here and throws the compass up. Obviously, Roger, you're gonna have to try and catch it. And while you're fumbling, she kind of makes her way out and runs.
Oh, no. He's focused on her. If she tries to run past, I'm going to stop.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. If you can roll me, let me see what we've got talent wise. Let's do this. Let me have a look at your thing.
Or Clara.
Poor Clara.
Is there any chance we can try and capture her alive, please?
Ragewood, give me an athletics roll. Let's see if you can grab her as you run
Would
past.
it be reflexes? Because it's the speed of rather than
Yeah, I can see why you're making that argument. Yes, I'll give you reflexes. It is going to be a 5-2 because her big dress is actually making it very hard to grab hold of her.
I mean, I was going to grab her head because she's quite small.
Yeah, but she's moving.
Okay.
She's moving, like I said, she's moving fairly gracefully. She's not giving you an easy target. And also, you've also got to remember that your job is to get the compass. You grabbed her. So as she's trying to go past.
Can I grab her with one hand and then try and grab the compass?
I will make the athletics for the compass. It's only a 3-2, so just get 2 successes. So if you fail to catch it, it's going to distract you and you're going to let her go. Because the compass is your primary objective. Now you got it. You got it. You're fine. So she's
Good
sort of trying
job, love it.
Can I be holding her by her head?
No, you've got the back of her dress. You've got the back of her big flouncy dress, and you can hear it ripping and tearing. She's thrashing. She's trying to get away from you. She is going to roll something when it comes back round to her to try and get loose because she does not want to be captured by you guys. But it will be an opposed roll, and you're probably going to win it.
Okay, can I put the compass down and then properly restrain her now?
You can on
I'm
your
just going to put it on the bar.
You can actually, it's your action now anyway, so I'll kind of let you go for that. She is going to oppose you though, so give me a might roll. You're probably going to win it. Oops,
What's the difficulty?
No difficult. Just it's 4-1, and it's just 4-1 for both of you. She's 4. Just bear with me. Oh, what? Okay, sorry, it's just done that together, isn't it? She only gets 1 success. So yeah, you probably restrain her now. You've kind of put the compass down on the thing, and you've kind of locked, and you kind of like got some vines sort of coming out your hands now to just tie her.
I'm just going to kind of pick her up, so she can't even run, and say surrender.
I mean, she's pretty much already surrendered. That's why she threw the compass to you.
Yeah, but she can call off her grunt.
No, I mean, at this point. She says, hard, stop. But he's a Dwarden. And he's got grudges to settle. He don't
Come
care.
on, Tree, kill this bloody dwarf. We don't have time to play with girls.
That's Ragewood. He's all done. Tanzil, in front of you is a guy angry with a halberd.
You think he's fucking angry? He's just smashed it. He can have 2.
Go for
What's
it,
his
sir.
defense? Is it good?
It's good, yeah.
Oh,
He does take a point of damage.
metal.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, there we go. There we go. And you can change one of those 2s into a 3 and thus get another point. So that is 6, which becomes 4. So he has. Okay, so yeah, you hit into him pretty hard, and he kind of like takes a couple of hits, but he's not down by any means. He's still standing. But
He's a knob.
but you're now into the sort of the thick of the fight now, and sort of the rage gives way to combat training now, and he's sort of getting sort of a bit more control of it. He's not thrashing wildly with his halberd. He's trying to use it like he's trained to do. And also he can hear Clara sort of shouting, "Stop, stop, stop." And he kind of turns and sees the tree handling her. And he's going to break away from you because turns out he's got a thing for Clara. He turns around and he charges halberd down towards the tree. Now, Ragewood, can you give me a reflex, please? It's a 4-2.
Yes.
Right. So you managed to shift her to the side because you were holding her up, and he's sort of charging at you with his halberd. It actually looks like he's going to skewer her on the halberd. Maybe he doesn't have a thing for her. Maybe he's trying to stop her from talking. You're not entirely sure, but you managed to turn, and he charges into you, and he's going to hit you now. That's your. I don't want to hit you both with yourself. Rock. Here we are. Halberd, and he is charging, so he's going to give himself a bonus dice. And what's your defense? Your defense is good, isn't it?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you take 4 damage, and you lose a point of armor. So you drop your armor down by 1.
How long does that last?
Yours
mine
grows back.
grows.
But between now and the next combat, you'll regrow. You'll be
Okay.
fine. But for this combat, you're now down to armor 1.
Okay.
And that's that. So then we move on to the main event, Ard.
Come on, guys, this is getting to be too much of a slog. We need to get this done.
So Ard is swinging. He realizes now the
bad.
Dwarden behind is keeping you in the fight. So he kind of wedges himself in now, and he's going to swing at the Dwarden behind. Average defense.
Man, I'm gonna die. Let's see. Yeah, average defense.
Okay, that's fine. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. You've taken 10 points of damage.
Yeah, that's one wound.
Jesus.
So he kind of comes through.
Wow.
So stop
Did
healing.
you remember to give him the penalty because he's not attacking Dan?
Oh, actually, sorry, you're absolutely right. So
Yeah,
I
Good
just
shout,
remembered
Rob.
the challenge thing.
no, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, good
good
shout.
shout.
You actually dropped that down to 8, Aaron. Drop it down to
Okay.
8. He would lose 2 for that.
Okay.
Is there any way I can jump in the way?
You can, as a combat action, use defend, which means that any attacks you have to declare it. So when you come
That's
to you
not my
now,
round. Okay.
when it's your round, you can declare that you're doing defend, and the choice of your target is Grim. At which point he can't. Every time he tries to hit Grim. Anyway, so he swings at you, Grim, and he's like, "Stop healing him! It's not a fair fight." And he's like sort of flailing at you and whatnot. And he's going to use his mail to activate Bulwark because he realizes he's now alone against all of you. And actually, what happens is, he realizes now that actually he's outnumbered quite heavily. His armor's rent in a couple of places, there's a bit of blood flowing out, and he's not sure that this fight is worth his life. And with his move, he's going to move back out and towards the door, but he's going to keep his axe between all of you, and he's like, "I'll be seeing all of you again." And he
Why
sort
don't
of
you lower your axe down and we'll accept your surrender?
and And then he's like, he kind of points it towards you, and he's like, "You're the first one that's gonna go."
He's running away.
And he makes his way out of the bar. But he's obviously not the most honourable Dwarden. He's working for a gambling den as a bouncer. It's like,
on his way out, Grim says, "He's not a proper Dwarden. Look at him run away like a mooly gobble."
and he's like, "I'll mark you too." And he like backs out through the doors.
"Run away, coward!"
And
that's a shocker.
And
love it.
The Grim is like, "Oh, thank God, he is like a fucking tank."
Yeah. So who knows? He may reappear at another point in time. But you've captured Lady Clara. The rock is sort of flailing at you, Mr. Tree. It's Tanzil and yours go. To be honest, he's only got 1 hit point left from the last.
I was going to say, can I kick him?
You can absolutely kick it. It's an unarmed attack, but go ahead and kick him.
How does that work? Is that weapon skill?
Yeah, just roll weapon skill. Just roll weapon skill. Because it'll just do that for us. Then you're probably just gonna get enough to just knock him on his ass. Yeah. Sort of as he's like flailing at you and he's crying a little bit because his brother's just died. You kind of
gonna kick him in the face.
Yeah, you kind of kick him in the face, but actually instead of just kicking him in the face, you kind of kick and then force down, and there's a godawful squelch as you crush him. And Clara's like, "Well, that was eventful. That was not what."
"Oh, you should have given us the bloody compass. Now you're out of business."
Oh, the funny thing about these businesses, Mr. Grimm, is they always come back around.
Yeah, but not for you, because we're going to take your head, probably.
That seems a mite strong.
Well, let's hope you've got a whole bunch of information for us then.
Can I remind you, my lady, that the last person who tried to quickly negotiate with us, we just killed. So just keep your
I've got
language
his head
please.
right here.
Well,
the compass is on the bar.
With the greatest respect, Mr. Moon, while devious and cunning at times, he wasn't the smartest tool. And perhaps he should have given you the compass. And I was merely fetching the compass to give to you as a negotiation tool so that I might live. Because, quite frankly, it was horrifying in that room with all of you. And look at my wonderful establishment. Look what's happened. So please take your compass and take your leave.
Why did you steal the compass?
Yeah.
I didn't steal the compass. At least you have no evidence to suggest I have stolen the compass.
I'm sure there's inquisitors somewhere in the city who can find out why you did it.
Perhaps. If you can find an inquisitor to take me to. But I'm pretty sure your quest is very pressing. Given your speed at getting here, considering the compass was only taken recently. Says to me that you have more important things to do than to deal with the likes of me.
We should hand her off to your storm host, Dathos.
Oh, the shinies aren't bothered with the day-to-day running. They'll just hand me to the Free Guild, and then someone I know in the Free Guild will set me free. There's no point. Ultimately, you have what you came for. Please.
What's to stop me snapping you like a twig?
Nothing other than the fact that you are supposed to be heroes and good people.
I'm going to squeeze.
And she kind of, but she doesn't buckle. She doesn't break. You clearly realize that she's actually the brains behind all of this.
Ragewood, hold on for a second. So, do you have any gold?
I have lots of gold. You're welcome to look through it. And if any of it happens to be gold, by all means. And she like points to the safe behind the bar.
He goes down and starts looking through the safe. Like,
give me a roll. You got is it Zargrim for sensing gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a roll. Give me a talent roll on that one. And I'll tell you if there's any in there.
I don't think it actually rolls. So what do you think? It not? Devotion, maybe?
Let's go devotion, because you're looking for pieces of your god at the end of the day. It's a 4-1. You find 4 pieces of gold in there.
He's like, yeah, we should let her go. That's a fair trade.
Is that fair? Your Dwarden has got something very precious to him. I didn't even know we had it, but it's his to take.
I still don't see why I shouldn't break you.
Because there's no reason to break me.
You have information.
You are clearly You are clearly working for someone else. Someone asked for you to steal this compass?
Who requires
it?
the compass?
A benefactor in our line of businesses who would not give me his name, place. You must know how this works. I have no information
I
for
continue to squeeze.
You can continue to squeeze.
Can I make a roll to see if she's lying?
You go for it. You roll an intuition. So
Oh God,
for one.
Really bad.
Grim's walking out of the tavern. He's like, no.
She's not lying.
She's not lying. 4-1. I did it.
Yeah, you did it. She's not lying. She's telling the truth. She genuinely doesn't know who employed her or anything like that. She can't give you any names. All this kind of stuff is under the table, under the thing. No one's ever used their real names. You're not even sure her real name is Lady Clara.
Leave her.
You quite frankly, gentlemen,
Clara.
You have an important job to do, I'm sure. Hence the map and the compass and all the other bits and pieces.
Grim yells back over his shoulder. He's like, I'll be back to fight in the pit. Have a nice day.
I look forward to it. And if I have any more of that fancy gold, that's what we're paying.
As she's midway through talking, I literally just drop her from about 8 to 10 feet in the air.
And she lands with a surprising cat grace. It doesn't catch her off guard, and she kind of dusts herself off, very demurely. It's like, well, gentlemen, I think this concludes our business. I think you probably have an appointment with a cartographer, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, my lady Clara. We will go, and I do expect us.
Bar and walk off.
I do expect us all to be added to the list.
Oh, most certainly, handsome. And she kind of winks at you. And you all venture out of the bar, successful in your quest for the compass, and we shall end it there for this evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I hope everybody has had fun. I'd like to add that this tonight was meant to go a little bit further in the story, but these gentlemen decided that negotiation wasn't for them, and they just wanted to kill everybody.
It was aggressive negotiation.
Sure, that's what we'll call it. Sure, aggressive negotiation. That's what we'll call it. So we hopefully will be back next week if everyone is okay. Hopefully Pete's going to join us to turn us off in a minute, but before that. What's going on for the rest of the week? Anybody? Who knows what's going on this week?
So tomorrow we have the One Ring 2nd edition, which is at 9 p.m. GMT.
It's a good game. You're getting towards the end of it now, aren't you?
We might be the end. Depends if we get all murdered or not, which is all too possible. And then tomorrow, North America, I believe we have something, Aaron?
No. Tomorrow is U.S. Thanksgiving, so there will be no game tomorrow night while we all eat turkey and stuffing and all of that kind of tasty victuals.
It's like an early Christmas dinner, isn't it?
Kind of.
It's kind of. We're saying we're thanking the Native Americans for letting us come and despoil their country.
I love your honesty on that one.
And on
Friday,
I think we've got Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Oh, exciting. And then that takes us back to next week where we'll have all of our wonderful shows again, and you'll see us next Wednesday. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a click and a like and come and join us on Twitch. And if you're on Twitch, come over to YouTube where we've got loads and loads of stuff on there, loads of back catalogs. In fact, I was watching our Save the Queen Alien the other night, which was really funny. And come and join us on our Discord. There's always lots of chats going on there, lots and lots of fun things to talk about. We're on there. Pete's on there, the master of all Garblag things, and we talk a lot and do lots of things on there as well. So just come and join us in any way you can, because we love the interaction with you guys. So thank you very much and good night.
Night.